Before we get started with today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the OneFootball app, because the OneFootball app is the app that I will be using throughout the World Cup to make sure I am staying up to date with all of the latest news, whether that be manager press conferences, early team news, player statistics, the group standings, anything. The OneFootball app is the place to be for all of your news at this World Cup. And then of course after the World Cup we will be back with club football, where OneFootball really has you covered, with match highlights of things like the DFB Pokal, La Liga and Liga Portugal, as well as full coverage of the Serie A, which includes a game that you can watch live for free every week. That is all to come after the World Cup. During the World Cup there is loads of content on the OneFootball app, so make sure to check out the link in the description down below and download the OneFootball app today. Hey guys, welcome back to the AJ Analysis channel, where today we are back with our third tactical preview as we head towards the World Cup. Today we are talking about Hansi Flick, we are talking about Germany, we are talking about their chances of winning the World Cup, and how they're going to set up, what they're going to do, what is their approach going to be heading into this tournament. And actually, when we look at the Germany team, and we talk about Hansi Flick, he's actually got a few big selection dilemmas on his hands at the moment. We're not entirely sure what Germany's best team is. Now, heading into the tournament, that is not what you want to be hearing if you're a Germany fan, if you're a Hansi Flick fan. You want to know your best 11. Germany don't at the moment. However, what we can see is that there's still a lot of quality, and the good thing for them is that in most positions where there is a selection headache, it's because you've got two quality players rather than a player that isn't good enough. So, in terms of how they will set up, Germany will look to play the ball out from the back, and they have many capable ball players. Neuer, one of the best ball-playing goalkeepers in history, probably. Schlotterbeck and Rudiger at the back, also both very comfortable on the ball, very brave on the ball. They'll happily take plenty of touches, they'll happily step forward into the midfield with the ball, and that is going to allow Germany to progress the ball. Now, in the previews that we've been doing so far, we've been talking about teams not really facing a high press. This is the first group where that might be a little bit different, because of the fact that Spain and Germany are both in this group. Now, that is something I will come back to later on in the video, but Spain at times probably will put Germany under pressure, so that is going to be a fascinating battle to watch. However, in the other two games, I think Germany will be able to control possession, move the ball forward, and they will look to be quite attacking. They will commit numbers forward and try and really hurt teams. Now, one way that they will do this is by kind of copying Flick's blueprint from what he used at Bayern. Now, if you remember, during his time at Bayern, it was this 4-2-3-1 shape that he used, and several players are similar. Now, whilst they don't have an Alphonso Davies like he had at Bayern, he does have a Ram, who is going to get forward from left back. He is going to really, really bomb forward, and he'll start the game as a left back. He will be more like a wing back, even a winger at times, pushing really high up the pitch down the left-hand side. What this will do is allow Leroy Sané to come inside, the attacking midfielder to move across a bit, and it gives Germany this sort of 3-2-4-1 system. Now, this is where one of the first kind of question marks comes up, because how this system works depends on who the right back is, because Germany don't have a ton of right back talent. Now, in Hoffmann, who I think will be the preferred choice against the smaller teams, he's not a right back, he is a winger. So when he plays, he likes to get forward. So we can instantly see that is going to change Germany's structure. Again, something I'll come on to later. In the bigger games, I think we will see a change with Klostermann coming into the team. Now, Klostermann is nowhere near as good going forward, but he is slightly better at the back, slightly more reserved, he is more natural defender, which would allow Germany to build possession in a 3-2-4-1 shape. So, against the likes of Spain, I think this is the shape that we will see from Germany, with Gundogan and Kimmich holding it down in the middle, 3-2-4-1, a shape that we have seen from a lot of big teams over the past few seasons. If this is the case, Gundogan is an important player. We know that Joshua Kimmich is, of course, Germany's most important player by far. His partner is important as well. The question is, Gundogan or Goretzka? Now, Goretzka is someone that probably provides a little more drive on the ball, a little more power, so again, maybe he's more suited to the bigger games. Gundogan brings more of a subtlety to his game, more of a technical ability, more of a passing ability, an ability to keep the ball, and again, has the ability to be slightly more reserved. Goretzka always likes to get forward. Gundogan does as well, but Gundogan is also disciplined enough to play a more defensive role as well. We have literally seen him play holding midfield for Manchester City before. So that's another interesting little selection. Either way, I think it will be this shape that they kind of end up using for most games. In terms of if we're talking about Germany going all the way, playing 7 games, we can probably expect to see this shape in a good 5 of those games. I am just going to quickly interrupt because we do have another sponsor for today's video, and that is JerseyFIFA.com. The website you need to head to right away to get yourself the latest and greatest football shirts, all at an extremely affordable price. The link will be in the description below, so head there right away to get yourself a great shirt, again at a great price. Now back to the video. If that is the case, and I'm right with that, then this little triangle in here is very important. The width will be provided by the left back and then probably Serge Gnabry on the right. This triangle here is interesting, and it's where we have another selection dilemma. Do you play Jamal Musiala, who for me is maybe the best young player on the planet? In terms of, let's take Mbappe and Haaland out of the conversation because we know how good they are. In terms of like these breakthrough talents, for me Musiala might be the best. And he is one of those players who is so technically gifted that alone he breaks defensive systems. So you can put him in a situation where it looks like the defensive system has got him covered. The other team are set up well defensively. Musiala is that good with the ball at his feet that he will entirely break that system. Just his subtle touches, the way he draws a player in, then skips past them and then plays the perfect weighted through ball, he will break systems. Musiala is a player to watch. The other option is Thomas Muller, who perhaps provides a bit more of a direct goal threat. So that is certainly something to consider. Personally, if it was me, I'd go for Musiala for his creativity levels. The other important thing is going to be how, whether it's Musiala or Muller, links up with Leroy Sané. Now, Leroy Sané is a bit of an interesting player. We all know how good he was at Manchester City. Went to Bayern, didn't do too well, but then in the past 12 months has really upped his form. And he is in good form at the moment. And it seems like he's finally kind of found his best area on the pitch, and it is this inside left channel. And that is where I think Germany will be using him. So that does look a good sign. The problem with Sané is he does have this ability to just completely fade out of games. Germany can't afford that. Germany need this man red hot and on form. They're going to need his creativity, they're going to need his goal threat, they're going to need his pace, his trickery, that ability to make something from nothing. They're going to need that. Especially because they don't really have a proper striker. Now, Timo Werner is the top scorer under Hansi Flick, but he has been ruled out of the competition through injury. One of the problems with having a tournament halfway through a season, but that's a conversation for another day. Does Havertz provide the same? Absolutely not. Havertz is more of a false nine. He's a player that wants to come towards the ball. The question I have is, do Germany have the players that want to go past him? I'm not too sure. And for me, like a few teams that we've been talking about, and will continue to talk about, that is one of the questions I have. Where do the goals come from? Now, at the moment, under Flick, the goals have kind of been shared out quite nicely. Havertz with 5, Muller with 5, Sané with 4, Gnabry with 4, and they're all decent returns. Considering the amount of games that have been played, of course, Flick came in after the Euros last year. So these are all decent returns. I just have that question over the ability in a big moment to provide a goal. If you look at other teams that have got Benzema or Mbappe or Harry Kane, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, do Germany have that player that can just get you a goal? I'm not sure that they do. And what this means is, as a result, at times they will change tactics to try and get an extra player moving further forward. Because at times I do think Germany will struggle to break teams down. I do think that is an issue that they will face. And that means that there will be games where Hoffmann will come in at right back. And the aim will be to go much more attacking. Hoffmann will push much higher than what Klostermann would want to. Gnabry would come inside. We would then see Gundogan dropping almost into a back three at times alongside Rudiger and Schlotterbeck. And then Kimmich alone in midfield. Now creating a 3-1-6 shape. Again, a shape that we're seeing a lot in this season. The likes of Manchester City using this shape in really big games to try and take control. And this is where Germany do have some flexibility. They have that ability to play the more reserved 3-2-4-1, or if they really want to open up, express themselves, they can go to a 3-1-6. The question is just still the goals. Can they score enough goals? The team clearly has quality. Look at Kimmich, for example. Kimmich is going to be the most important player. His ability to dictate, his intelligence, his defensive work, his leadership skills, his experience, his winning mentality. Everything about Kimmich is perfect. One of the most perfect footballers on the planet. I absolutely love him. He is going to be crucial to any Germany success. If Germany are going to win this tournament, we'll look back and say Kimmich player of the tournament. 123.4 touches per 90 minutes in World Cup qualifying. That is ludicrous. And also, Kimmich just being perfect, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect again. But that is insane. But then also the 2.8 key passes per 90, sorry. So, when he plays this role, yes, he's going to help Germany dominate the ball and dictate, he will control the game, but he's also got an incredible level of creativity. And Germany are going to need that. We're talking about where are the goals going to come from. Some of them might come from Kimmich playing some lovely balls from these deeper areas. He's going to be one of their most important players. The question is, can they find the goals? Because this is an issue that they've faced. If you can't score goals, you're always going to have problems. And Germany have had that issue. And as a result, their form really up and down. Just look at these 6 games in a row, for example. They beat Israel 2-0, which is a decent result. They were rotated that game, but they then draw 1-1 with Netherlands, 1-1 with Italy, 1-1 with England, who were in bad form at the time, 1-1 with Hungary, but then beat Italy 5-2. Doesn't make sense. And then after this, they lost to Hungary, and then drew 3-3 with England. Really up and down form, and it comes from a lack of a true goal scorer. So that is certainly a problem that they will face at the tournament. One of the other issues that they will face at this tournament is the quality in their group. And I cannot wait for this Germany against Spain clash. It's got that added narrative of the whole Kimmich and Pedri drama, which just makes it even better. The technical quality that will be on display in Germany versus Spain, 2 of the best managers at the tournament, managing 2 of the most technically gifted squads at the tournament, which both struggle to score goals at times. We'll come on to Spain in a couple of days. That has the potential to be game of the tournament. And it's within the first 2 rounds of fixtures. Really, really looking forward to that game. Who wins it? I don't know. Whoever wins that game probably goes on to win the group. Because even if Germany aren't able to get the right result in that game, they've probably got too much quality for Japan and Costa Rica. Now, both of those teams do carry their own threats, their own problems. They can hurt teams on the counter-attack. But if Germany were to drop points to either of these, it would be pretty surprising. So yeah. That's kind of where I'm at with Germany at the moment. They're a bit of a difficult team to talk about because of their form is so mixed. They clearly have a really, really talented squad and just so many good players. But I just feel an injury to someone like Kimmich, a Joshua Kimmich injury could completely derail them. Because they would lose a real element of control, a world-class and elite midfielder. That would hurt any team. That's not a criticism of Germany. Losing Kimmich would hurt any team in the world. Of course it would. He's one of the best midfielders on the planet. So it would hurt any team. But I do just fear for them. Can they get the goals? Or is it too many players that want to come to feet, want to come to the ball? And if a team is going to sit really deep, get loads of players behind the ball, do Germany have what it takes to break them down? I'm not too sure that they do right now. And if we go back to this, Hungary. A draw and a loss to Hungary, a team that we know use their physicality, sit behind the ball and then try and counter-attack. That hurt Germany twice already in 2022. Could teams do it again at the World Cup to them? I think the blueprint is kind of there to beat Germany. If you can sit deep, absorb the pressure, and then try and counter-attack, that is how you hurt them. However, they do have so much quality still. Just look at that team sheet real quick. A lot of quality. The fullbacks aren't ideal, but in terms of the midfield and the front 4, really, really, really good footballers. And I think the thing that might edge it for Germany, which maybe just puts them ahead of a couple of other teams, ahead of the likes of France, Portugal, maybe even England, is Hansi Flick. I think in big moments in international football, your ability to manage in-game is huge, and for me, Flick is one of the best managers at this tournament. Right up there with Luis Enrique for Spain, who, again, I can't wait for that clash. Flick versus Enrique, it's going to be great. Flick might be the difference. Flick might be that thing for Germany. His tactical ability and his flexibility might be what separates Germany from some of the other teams that we're talking about this week. Because I really do think he's top quality as a manager, as a tactician, as a coach. And I think he will get the best out of this Germany squad. The question ultimately is the goals. Where do the goals come from? And that's where I want your guys' help. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Who will be Germany's top goal scorer at this tournament? And how far can they get? Personally, I think if they can find a way to score goals, they have the ability to go all the way. And they certainly can score goals. We can see it on screen here. Müller, Havertz, they are players that will find the back of the net if you give them chances. I think Germany are a team that are being slept on a little bit. But they're one of those teams where it really has the ability to go either way. They could go all the way and win it and be sensational. They could also kind of fail to impress a little bit. Get a win and a draw, a couple of draws, something like that, and kind of falter. Really could go either way for Germany. But I think having Flick does help them massively. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts, your expectations. How far can Germany go? Let me know what you think. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video. And as always, I will see you in the next one.